Hey guys, DPG here, David Patrick Green, hackhollywood.com. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please like this video to let YouTube know it is valuable. Today's video is how to stay in touch with casting directors. Now, if you've ever been to a casting director workshop, they'll tell you one thing, but that's not necessarily the whole truth of it. Let me give you a little backstory here. I have spent hundreds of hours working with and for and volunteering for some of the biggest casting directors in the business, and I learned a thing or two. So when I started out doing all this helping out, I had a lot of questions of my own, right? Because I had heard through the grapevine, oh, if you want to stay in touch with casting directors, you should ... right? Send them your headshots. Send them postcards. Do not drop in. Do not call. Don't show up at an audition that you didn't get an appointment for. Only get your agent to call or contact them however they do such things. And let me tell you right now, all of that information is 100% wrong. And here's why. Because I spent all that time in a casting office, I know exactly what they do, and I know exactly what they do with the various attempts that actors make to get in touch with them. Now, I would say the number one way actors try to get in touch with casting directors is through postcards, right? They come up with these clever postcards. They spend hours and hours doing the graphic design. Then they spend hundreds of dollars getting these postcards printed off. And honestly, they look beautiful. I mean, I was in awe of these things. And when I was handling them, because as somebody who was working at a casting office, the casting director didn't actually handle the mail. I handled the mail. And so I looked at these things and I was like, oh my gosh, I am not worthy. These postcards are amazing. They're practically in 3D, and the photography was amazing. These actors were amazing. Some of them looked like movie posters. Some of them were jokes. They were funny. Some of them listed all the recent credits. I mean, they ran the gamut. They were all amazing. And it made me feel really insecure and not up to snuff. But then I learned something one day, and that made me feel a little better about myself, but a lot worse about these postcards and other ways of staying in touch. And that is, one day I was tasked with going through the mail, and there was a lot of mail. Most of it was postcards from actors. Of course, there's a few bills thrown in there and maybe a few checks to the casting directors, but primarily there's maybe 100 to 150, maybe 200 postcards on a busy day. And I hadn't really dealt with the postcards before, so I said to the casting director, it was close to the end of the day. She hadn't asked for them. She said, give me the bills if there are any bills. There's the bills. Account statements, checks. She never asked for the postcards. So I thought, well, when is she going to look at these? I know. She's going to take them home with her. She's going to study these postcards. She's going to look at the actors, and she's going to see which ones might be right and try and place them into parts and roles that she has available right now on some of the TV shows and the movies she's casting. And I thought, wow, that is awesome. What an incredible level of dedication. And so I saw this casting director walk past me on her way out, and I said, oh, hey, I won't mention her name. I said, hey, you, what do you want me to do with all these postcards? And without even breaking stride or turning her head, she said, oh, throw them out. And that's when I realized postcards probably aren't your best investment. Throw them out. So I thought maybe this was an anomaly, right? I was back at the office again. Postcards, what do I do with them? Throw them out. Next day, I'm going to just ask one more time. Hey, about the postcards, David, I told you to throw them out. Like, it was so obvious and that there wasn't any mistake the first 2 times. The mistake was that I didn't get it on the first try. Okay, guys, so that is typically what casting directors do with postcards, and really you can't expect them to do much more with them because there isn't any useful information on them. They are so busy, these people, and once you have worked or volunteered in a casting office, you might understand this, but let me just explain it to you. They are really busy, okay, and they get submissions from the top agencies in the world, and then they get them from the second-tier agencies and the third-tier agencies, so they have all these submissions. And then along come these postcards that aren't geared towards a particular show or a role, and it might be a picture of you in who knows what garb, or maybe you're dressed up like Shakespeare or Hamlet, who knows. And so what exactly would you expect a casting director to do with this thing? There really isn't anything they could do, even if they wanted, unless they had nothing better to do with their day. And they certainly have better things to do with their day than sort postcards from strangers that are in no particular order, format, and they're even in the wrong size. They can't be stacked along with headshots or any other, printed materials that they might use to find actors for roles. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Save yourself a lot of time and a lot of expense, and do not send postcards. Yes, what should you do? Well, I can't tell you everything all at once, but that leaves one big chunk of your day free now to not think about postcards. Try to use your imagination about other ways you could get in touch with casting directors and make them aware of the information they need to make a decision about whether or not they should bring you in for a particular show, a particular movie, and a particular part specifically. Okay, how can you convey that information? And if you can figure that out, then you will succeed as an actor. I will talk to you soon. Let me know what you think of this. Was I right, wrong, off base? What else? Did I miss anything? Let me know. Looking forward to hearing from you.